Hello everyone, and welcome to my first ever episode of Jay's Anime Rants, Ramblings, and Ravings, where I rant and ramble about stuff. Today, my first episode, we're going to be talking about Super Cub, Episode 11, and Koguma's Rescue of Shii. Oh boy! Let me preface this by saying that I love Super Cub. It's still probably my favorite series of the season. It makes me incredibly happy to watch it every single week. With that said, oh boy was that rescue bad. That was horrible. It just, everything about it was just straight wrong, and it really bothers me. I've gotten quite a few comments on it. Some people saying, oh, it's just anime, it's okay, live with it. And others saying, wow, that was really bad, and I tend to be on that side there. Let me address this just anime thing. Yes, it is just anime, but no. Different thing going on here. If this was, say, Goku lying in the river and has hypothermia, would I expect an ambulance to be called for him? No, absolutely not. He's Goku. He doesn't need help. He's fine. Not that kind of series. This series, though, Super Cub, is grounded in reality. Everything about this has been realistic in nature. There's no superpowers. There's no, magic or other crazy things happening. This is very much based in the real world. And I expected a realistic thing to happen here if this traumatic accident was going to happen, right? But we didn't get that. And that really bothers me. Like, everything Koguma did was flat out wrong outside of getting Shii out of the water. That was it. That's the only thing she did right. You start by calling the ambulance. Whether you think you're faster or not, you call the ambulance first, and then if you want to go and get her out, that's fine. Have the ambulance meet you there. Step 1. Step 2, yes, get her out of the water. Congrats, you did that right. Slapping her face. Very unnecessary. After you get her out, the first thing you do is, 1, get her out of her wet clothes. And you have that nice, fluffy, lovely jacket, or friggin' really warm-looking top that Koguma had on. You put that around her to get her warm. Raise that inner body temperature. That's what you need to do. And then you don't put her in the basket to suffer the brunt of the wind as you drive down the road. No, my god, that would probably kill her. Are you serious? Oh my god. No, you open up the back of your box and you put her in it. She's tiny enough, she would have fit. You don't close it though, obviously. You're not trying to smother her. No, you let her sit there with that thing wrapped around her so she's all nice and warm, and you just let her chill there while you take her to the ambulance that's hopefully waiting for you at the end of the road. Or meet the ambulance down the road, something. Call the freaking ambulance, that's for one. And yeah, and then if you don't call the ambulance, you do bring her home. You don't just leave her in the friggin' hallway while you get to where I go. No, you pick her up, you carry her, put her in the tub, and you get the hot water going on her then. It was just so frustrating because, like, hypothermia is a very serious thing. This was a serious incident that happened, and this series is more than based enough in reality that I would have expected a better response for this. I am not putting this on Koguma or Shii or anyone else. I'm putting this on the writing. This was terrible writing for how the rescue went down. I do not like it. It bugs me. It drives me up the wall on how poorly written that rescue was. Like, I have heard that the source material is different, that Koguma did contemplate calling the ambulance. Sure, okay. Doesn't change the fact that everything she did beyond that was wrong. Straight wrong. Like, I would have expected her to, if she was panicking and freaking out and, like, being totally spastic and not knowing what to do, I could understand her putting her in the basket and then taking off like that. Like, if you're scatterbrained trying to save your friend. But no, she was, like, her straight-up deadpan, emotionless self in this rescue. Like, she was super calm, almost too calm for the situation, and she was super methodical. I'm like, no, this is a race against time. She is freezing to death. And I got a comment that, like, maybe Koguma is a sociopath, and I'm like, maybe you're right. I mean, she's incredibly antisocial, she's manipulative, and she has an extreme lack of empathy for others. And I was like, that does kind of sort of fit her. Does that change my opinion on the series? No. Does it change my opinion on Koguma? Not really, but it just puts a new perspective on the things that happened here. On perhaps why she acted as she did during this rescue, because she doesn't really care. Can't empathize with what other people are dealing with. I was like, huh. So maybe that's why she was like, whatever. I'm just gonna get you home and get you warm, and that's that. And if something happens, something happens. That's kind of what I got out of Koguma's response there. And yeah, it really rubs me the wrong way how that went down. It could have been. It could have been handled much better across the board by both the writers and how they portrayed Koguma to be. Because in that instance, I would have expected Koguma to be a little more frantic. Not like crazy freaking out, but even showing even the slightest bit of emotion. And we got nothing out of her. Not one bit. And I was like, ooh, yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay. That's not how people are. People are not that way unless there's something wrong. And yeah, I now believe there might be something wrong. But yeah, like I still love the series. I still think it's amazing. But my God, don't screw up a scene like that. That was a super dramatic, intense scene, and everything about it was butchered. It's not okay. Not okay. Like another example of where an ambulance was not called and I was actually okay with it was Tokyo Revengers. That's spoiler for those who have not been watching or not caught up. When Takemichi was carrying the Draken who was bleeding out profusely. Oh, I was like, oh, that's a very slow way to get him somewhere, and I think I laughed about it because it's that kind of series. I'm not expecting an ambulance to show up there, you know? But with this one, yeah, I was 100% expecting that because it's so solidly grounded. This is such a grounded series. We're not up in the sky with crazy things happening. No, it's on the ground about cubs, motorcycles, parts, and girls doing cute things. That's what this is based in. There's no craziness to it. I expected a better response. And yeah, that's what it is. And it infuriates me because everyone should know how to handle hypothermia. If anyone lives in a climate that gets even remotely cold, below freezing, you need to know how to deal with hypothermia. Like, everyone should know about it. It's not super complicated. And yeah, honestly, I blame this on the writers. Whoever wrote this up or whoever directed the animation for this, that's where I put the blame because not good. Didn't like it. Do I still love the series? 100%. It's still my favorite of the season. But one big misstep right there. And that, I believe, concludes my first ever episode of Jay's Anime Rants, Ramblings, and Ravings.